guys, thank you for tuning in again today. How you all doing? Today is our very last webisode on the accountability series, and I hope each and every one of you who are watching this video have been following. Please, if you haven't been following us from the beginning of the series, check previous videos I uploaded to catch up on what we're talking about, okay? I got the idea to speak about this topic sometime last year, just after I had watched the Surviving R. Kelly documentary. I was so heartbroken, I was so disappointed, and I empathized with all the women who said they felt that he mistreated them, or he abused them, or he did certain things to them that they couldn't even bring themselves to speak about. As a matter of fact, I think that when I put up that post on my Instagram where I was trying to express my disappointment at the things that happened to R. Kelly, I actually made up my mind that day that I was going to start doing vlogs and speaking about certain things like this. One of the testimonials that struck me most was the one from his ex-wife, when she said she watched on the news and saw all the paparazzi stories about what was going on. I think she saw his arrest or something. I can't really remember. It's a bit hazy now. And she said when she eventually got an opportunity to speak to him, she said, "Who helped you? Who helped you do these things? Because I know for sure that you weren't going around hunting these women down or getting involved in these messes on your own. You had a team of people who were helping you." And one of the people on R. Kelly's team that got me so upset was the late Aaliyah's cousin. I mean, this guy was supposed to be looking after his little cousin and helping her or grooming her in the music industry. And R. Kelly requested or asked him to forge a birth certificate to allow him and Aaliyah get married in court. And this guy put his cousin's safety on the line just because of R. Kelly. That was the most disappointing person in that series. And you see, each and every one of us are prone to being caught in the trap of having yes men around us. Who are yes men? Yes men are those people that come towards you or move closer to you when you're so successful or when you're doing well in whatever field that God has asked you to walk into. And then when you're doing so well and all these great things are happening to you, they surround you, but they do not surround you because they want you to keep winning, keep staying, and keep growing. As a matter of fact, they surround you because of the benefits that being around you provides them. Financial benefits, social benefits, economic benefits, career benefits, and all that good stuff. And we know that in the entertainment industry and the business world, we have seen so many cases of people that rose so high and seem to have a clique or harem of people around them telling them, yes, you the man, you the man. And the moment something goes south, all those people back off and run. I believe that sometimes many of us are not being fair to ourselves and others when we see people who are so respectable in the society doing something wrong, and we don't pick their interest to say, sorry, I kind of really think you shouldn't be doing this. And it's not like I expect you to just go and blab it out to anybody and be like, oh no, you're not supposed to do that, you're supposed to be doing that. However, even by the responses we give when we're asked to do certain things, we could pass a message across to say, I don't think this is right and I don't want to be involved. A lot of us just follow people that we think we can benefit from without being there for them enough to hold them accountable so that they don't make mistakes that make them crash and burn. And this thing we all do has made a lot of leaders very paranoid about who they keep around, because they don't even trust that anybody is around them to help them sustain their blessings. Most times you see that a lot of leaders are very controlled around the people close to them, or trying to do like this whole 50-50 thing, because in all honesty, most of the people around them are just trying to take what they can get. They just want to be able to name drop and say, I work with this person, or oh, he's my friend, or oh, this person sent me here so that doors will open for them, or sometimes even get money, be on their payroll to be able to get money to sort their own bills. And in that whole mess, a lot of things could go wrong. And then when things go wrong, you find out that all the people that were around, these successful people or these prominent people just disappear, and the prominent person takes the blame all by themselves. You could see that in R. Kelly's case. Now he's in court. He's facing the shame, the disgrace, and the embarrassment. His music, R. Kelly, sang a lot of inspiring and motivating songs that many of us listened to when we were young. His music is banned from being played on air and all that stuff. If you read the book of 1st and 2nd Samuel, you should be able to get a good grasp of King David's story. And one of the things I can attest to is the fact that King David was not surrounded by yes men. He probably had one or two. And every time a person tried to be a yes man to him, he dealt with them. The person who killed Saul, who was David's enemy, that came and was like, oh yeah, I killed Saul. He was like, oh, so you killed my boss. You killed the Lord's anointed. Okay, maybe you should follow him. The two people who killed Saul's son, who was reigning after Saul died, they came to David and were like, yeah, we killed Saul's son. Yeah, we're for you. David was like, oh, so you killed somebody from the house of Saul. You too, you're going to follow suit. Because there was no instruction in Israel at the time that anybody should kill a descendant of Saul. There was none. And so David, whenever anybody came to David to say, to act like, oh, yeah, we're doing this not so good thing because of you, he never allowed them into his life. However, he had people like Joab and people like Abishag, the sons of Zeruiah, who he would tell to do things that were not really right, and they would look him in the face and say, no, we're not going to do that. In fact, in the case of David and Bathsheba, that was the one time that Joab agreed to do something for David that he was not supposed to do. And when he sent the message back to David, like I said in my previous video, he said, tell him that Uriah is dead. Uriah that was killed in the battlefield was not a yes man. When David brought Uriah to town and said, well, David sent for Uriah from the battlefield and asked him to come to town, and he said, go into your wife. Uriah said, I will not do that. How can I do that when the Lord's army is in the battlefield? I won't do that, sir. 2 nights, David tried to convince Uriah to go into his wife. Uriah said, I won't. Uriah was not a yes man. And I'm very sure that was why God was upset with David when Uriah lost his life for no apparent reason, because he knew that Uriah was loyal to David to the end. When Absalom planned a coup against David, and tried to bring David's kingdom down, it was a whole mess. David had to run into hiding because he knew the wrath of his son Absalom. And then Absalom's army fought against David's army, and David sent his servant Joab, his chief of armed forces, and he said, please, when you get to the battlefield, whatever happens, save the life of my son Absalom. And Joab said, okay, fine. I mean, we could do that, right? All right, cool. But when Joab got to the battlefield and he saw how fierce the battle was, he knew that if he had to kill Absalom so that this coup never rises again for his boss, he was going to do it. And guess what he did? There are times when we work with leaders and we work with people in authority over us, we need to tell them the truth. We do not do right by ourselves and by God and by those people when we watch them walking into dangerous situations, or we watch things that are not going to help them happening around them, and we keep quiet. A lot of us do this. Oh, it's not my business. If I talk now, they'll say I don't have money and I'm talking. And please, though, as long as they have the money, let them do whatever they want to do. And we make a mess out of the relationships you're supposed to build and have with people. Because sometimes God puts you in a person's life so that you can hold them accountable when they can't stay accountable to themselves. Sometimes God puts you in a person's life so that you can be their testimony. Jonathan was David's friend. And Jonathan was someone who always held David accountable for whatever David decided to do. He always ran it by Jonathan, and Jonathan would tell him, okay, let's try it this way, let's do it this way. All right, run, hide, don't worry, I got your back. I'm trying to do this here and do this there. Why can't we be like Jonathan in the lives of people? Why do we always want to hang around them, take what we can get, and just move on and leave them to crash and burn? I say this again, sometimes God puts you in the life of a person to teach them things. to let them know when they are failing, to let them know when they don't need to struggle, so that they can do right and be right, and they will be thankful to God for sending you to their lives. Another thing I'm going to speak about is our ability to stay mindful, especially as leaders, to stay open-minded, I meant to say. Because many leaders are so close-minded. The moment you try to say, sir, ma, I think we need to do this thing this way, or the moment your friend is a little richer than you and they're acting out of character and you say, hey, I think what you did today was not fair, you need to apologize to that person. It's like, oh, they're coming for me. Why are they coming for me? Sometimes people could be coming for you, but it's not every time people are coming for you. Sometimes that person that you think is coming for you is actually trying to tell you the truth. I can proudly say I am one person who likes to keep people around me accountable. I don't always get that, because while I'm trying to keep someone accountable, they're sometimes trying to take me down. Or they're sometimes happy to see me struggle with certain things. And that's fine, because that's them and that's not me. However, I ask myself, do we always have to get to those points where we are down, out, and under before we understand that this person in our life is someone God has sent to keep us accountable, to hold us accountable for our actions? The reason why David's kingdom was so strong in Israel was because David had people around him that kept him accountable. If you remember, when David went to his last battle, and David almost lost his life, and all the men, the 30 men or the 33 men who were his frontline men, they surrounded him and said, no, sir, you're not coming to the battlefield again. We cannot allow the enemy put out the lamp of Israel. Go back. This is the last battle you're going to fight. Don't worry, leave us. We'll take it from here. You've done enough, sir. Thank you for your service. Thank you so much for holding us down. You've taught us how to fight, and we will fight this battle. On the flip side, however, we have a lot of leaders who don't teach their subordinates to fight. And so they're fighting on their own. Their subordinates don't know how to go to battle for them. You have people around you, you're not building them up to be strong, so that they can be smart enough to constructively criticize, the things you're doing, and so that you guys can rub minds together. You always want to be around people that are lower than you so you can be the boss. Guess what? Most of those people that you think are lower than you are just your yes men. They understand that, okay, since you always want to be the boss, I'm going to make you feel like the boss, and I'm never going to tell you the truth. Today, I would like to encourage us to avoid the trap of yes men. When you find out that you're in a place or in a circle of people where everything you say is, yeah, go on, ride on, yes, do what you need to do, oh yes, whatever, oh, you're the man, you're this, you should be worried. You should be worried being around people that only make you feel like everything you're doing is right. Because guess what, my darling? Everything you're doing is not right. They just don't want to tell you. And that is most likely because of the benefits they want to get from you. Don't get carried away. I used to have someone on my WhatsApp that, every time, like when I put up a status or something, she'd be like, oh yeah, wisdom, oh this, oh tell us, give us, blah, 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 blah. When I found out the things that person was doing behind my back, I was like, oh well, that's why she was trying to be, oh, yo, you the man. Because while they were trying to make me feel like this super fancy superhero, they were actually plotting not nice things behind my back. But many of us, like when we have people that are always like, yo, you're everything, we just get carried away and we think, yeah, we have a squad. You don't have a squad. Those people are not your squad. They are your yes men. And yes men can destroy you. I need us to understand that it is important for us to have people around us that keep us accountable. Don't see people that are keeping you accountable as your enemies. They are not. They are your best friends. They are your best friends. A person that can look you in the eye and tell you, you know what, I don't agree with what you've done. I think you can do better. I think you can think this thing through. I think you can treat people better. I think you didn't wear the right outfit to that meeting. Your cleavage was showing. Please, next time, dress properly. I think you need to reduce your alcohol addiction. It's getting to you. You're acting out of character. I think this drug addiction is getting into your head. I think your addiction for underage girls and underage boys is beginning to ruin you. You need help. Go seek help. Go see a therapist. Go talk it out. You need those kind of people around you, they are your best asset. They are the ones God has put in place to keep you straight. Oh, I have accountability partners, and I thank God for my accountability partners, because I don't know what I would have been able to do without them. Some are within my family and some are without. But those are the people that hold me down. And sometimes I may not totally understand what they're saying, but in due time I do. And whenever I do, I go back to them to say thank you, because you gave me this advice 2, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and I didn't quite get it. But now that I do, I see that you are an asset God has used to bless me. Thank you. Some of us don't remember to thank our accountability partners. We don't remember to. A person gives you advice that works for you, you don't even remember to say thank you. You don't, because you take it for granted. You think you're too fancy, or you're just so beautiful, or you're too special, and that's why you have that kind of person around you. No, it is a blessing to have people around you that keep you accountable. R. Kelly didn't have that, and that's why he's struggling today. When you have people around you that keep you accountable, thank God, because there are days when you won't be able to carry yourself, and it is your accountability partners that would help you stay grounded and stay strong and bring you back to base when you're floating into oblivion. When David lost an accountability partner, Ahithophel, whose counsel was one of the good things that was happening to David, he lost him to Absalom in the coup. The only prayer David prayed was, "Dear Lord, turn Ahithophel's counsel to foolishness." And it happened that Ahithophel gave Absalom counsel, and Absalom refused it. And that was how David's army was able to tactfully reclaim his kingdom. So even David knew the importance of having people accountable to him. He wasn't carried away by all that fluff. Don't get carried away by all the fluff around you. Find true people, find real people, find people that can look you in the eye and tell you the truth. There are times in your life where those people are more valuable assets than your money, than your fame, than your position. Those people that tell you the truth. Don't block your ears to them. And if you're watching this video too, please don't be a yes man to anybody. When you see a person failing, one of the ways of being your brother's keeper is by ensuring you hold them accountable. Because at that particular point in time, it is your responsibility to make sure they don't crash and fail. Let's look out for each other. Let's have each other's backs. I mean, we keep complaining about how the world is this and people are bad. Are you good? Are you good? Do you have people's backs? Before you start talking about how bad everybody else, are you good? There's some of us, when we see our friends failing, we laugh at them. Well, we were there when they were failing, but when they failed, we want to laugh at them. What were you doing when they were failing? You were sleeping. Let it be that you gave them advice and they didn't take it, than for it to be that you gave them no advice at all. It's not right. It's not Christian-like, and it's not godly. I hope this video has blessed you today. I apologize if I'm being too hard on you, but if I cannot tell you the truth, then I shouldn't even be on YouTube. Thank you very much. Let me have your thoughts, your feedback, your comments, and of course, we can always reason together, because that is what Mary's Thoughts is all about. Each and every one of us reasoning together and trying to figure this life out. Because remember, as long as we have the Holy Spirit, we can figure life out. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.